Work gets done best when people know what's expected of them. And that starts with managers. Not just managers telling each team member what's expected of them, but managers themselves knowing what's expected of them by the organization. And what this looks like can vary depending on your role. Managing a retail team can feel very different than running a restaurant, or managing nurses is different than leading a finance or engineering or manufacturing group. But across every role, there are expectations that every team member has of their manager. And that's how to reframe it, not just what the organization expects, but what team members expect that can impact their day-to-day work and how long they choose to stay at your organization. Because if you've ever had a role where you've literally thought, I do not know what I'm supposed to do, then you know how frustrating and discouraging that can feel. And as a manager, you can't control everything. Budgets, policies, decisions made by someone else, but you can control the environment that you set for your team. And these 7 expectations are tools to do it. So as we go through this list, I'll make it downloadable in the description. Think about which ones you could use help with, and feel free to add those in the comments. The first is give feedback when it matters. Team members want feedback in the moment, not 6 months later. Like positive feedback. When you stayed late to reset the dining room, it really helped because the morning shift could start smoothly and we made a great impression on our guests when they came in. Or even constructive feedback. Well, in yesterday's team meeting, you cut someone off a couple times and that led to them holding back any further ideas. So next time, pause and give everyone a chance to finish. Even if you have something to say, it'll make our discussion stronger if we wait for the other person to finish and then add it. And why this matters is timely feedback can change behavior right away, like in the restaurant. Correcting a server on how to explain the specials can boost sales that same night. Or in an office, talking through someone about their presentation style can help that presentation and also their confidence and credibility that shapes their career. Second is make one-on-one time worth it. One-on-one time with team members is really important, and it doesn't always have to be long, but it should matter. Like for a finance team, that might mean a 30-minute sit-down, or for a retail associate, it might just be a couple minutes before, during, or after a shift. But ask, what's one part of your work that you'd like more support on right now? In that retail setting, they may say, I need some help learning the register system. So getting them trained quickly means fewer mistakes at checkouts and faster lines. In more of a corporate environment, that might say, I don't know where to prioritize all these competing deadlines. And so that conversation could present missed deliverables and make sure that they're on the same page. Because when one-on-ones, whatever that time looks like, when it's more than just status updates, team members walk away with tools to get better at their jobs and have a stronger sense of real career direction. And that leads to higher performance and lower turnover. Third is talk about development more than just once a year. Career conversations shouldn't just happen during reviews. As an example, you can say, my job is to be clear with you on expectations and opportunities. To do that, I need to know what actually interests you, and together we can come up with a plan. For a nurse, that might mean talking about pursuing a specialty certification or doing some trainings. For a line cook, it might mean asking them if they want to prep for the hotline so they can step up into a more of a lead role. And why this matters is when people see that you care and a potential path forward, they're more likely to stay, care about what they're doing today and tomorrow and the next day. But ignoring these conversations often means losing great team members to places where they feel more seen and invested in. And that can make your life harder as well if they're always turning over. Fourth, shout people out often. Recognition motivates people, and it also multiplies those results you're likely going for. Just go beyond just thank you. In that restaurant, telling the team, Alex handled that large party flawlessly last night, and they turned a potentially stressful situation into a really great guest experience by X, Y, and Z. Or in an office, emailing leadership. Hey, Sam on my team created a new process that cut reporting time in half. Always make sure that you're spreading recognition around, not just calling out the same 1 or 2 people. Recognize individuals for their contributions, but also the team as a whole. Because otherwise, if people always hear someone else's name, they think, well, what about me? And if you can't think of anyone to recognize, that's a signal to go back to giving them feedback on what they could be doing to make an impact that's really worth recognizing. Because recognition isn't fluff. It can be like water in the desert. It builds confidence, drives repeat good performance, and shows the team what good actually looks like in action. Fifth is keep their priorities clear or make them clear. Things can shift constantly, but your team needs clarity on what's coming. You can say, for example, if you're choosing between prepping the new seasonal menu and restocking the cooler, focus first on the menu because we need it ready for this weekend. Or if you're stuck between updating that slide deck and reconciling those invoices, focus on the invoices because payroll depends on it. And why this matters is without clear priorities, people can spin their wheels or choose what they're going to do first or even spread themselves really too thin. But when they're clear, they can channel that energy into what truly matters most. If that's hitting sales goals, keeping patients safe, or meeting financial deadlines, and those all matter. 6 is to deal with issues head on. Avoiding tough conversations is very natural, but it makes problems worse. If something starts to feel off, saying, I noticed tension between you and another team member on the shift. Let's talk about what's happening and how we can fix it and move forward, what that looks like. Or, I've seen some deadlines slipping. What's getting in the way? This matters because when issues are addressed early and with questions rather than just assumptions, performance can improve and relationships can be repaired. But if left unchecked or untalked about, one underperforming employee or upset employee or unresolved conflict can drag down the whole team. 7, finally, is to explain the why behind changes. Change is constant, but people handle it better when they understand the why and also the how it impacts them. You can say, we're moving to a new point of sale system because it'll reduce errors and speed up checkout times. And here's what that means for your shifts. Or, we are reorganizing reporting lines to align better with our client projects. This should help you actually get your answers faster. This matters because team members who understand that why can adapt faster and are less resistant. They understand why it matters to them, and that can mean smoother transitions, better morale, and stronger buy-in. Being a manager isn't about having every answer. It's about creating an environment where people know what's expected and why it matters. So whether that's giving feedback, talking through priorities, or recognizing really great work, these everyday actions you can take directly impact performance and also morale and careers. And they play a huge role in whether people just get the job done or get the job done well and choose to grow and stay with you.